Yes. You don't do it.
That's me. Yes, I did. Yes. You want me to pay my fine? I ain't did shit wrong. I'm standing right there. Hmm? Disorderly conduct. They gonna hear from me. Knock my mailbox down. Told me I couldn't ship it.
I'm with my daughter. Whom OUMOU. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excuse me.
I could change it to guilty. I could change it to guilty. Okay.
I can wait for you, sir.
Okay. That's, we're here for trials, and I'm not real certain why you got placed on this court calendar here today. So you're kind of, we're not doing your trial today. It may be other people's trials, but not yours. So, if you want to plead not guilty, that's fine. We will bring you back on another day, and at that point, you will have an opportunity to,
Good.
present your case.
Okay, sir. So just I want to, because I'm working, I didn't go to work today. So just the time should be manageable, not with my schedule and stuff. They just a little bit concerned with my schedule.
Okay. All right. So we'll work with you on that. As far as the charge, you're charged with speeding 53 miles per hour in a 35-mile-per-hour zone. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yeah, yeah, I got this part. That's why I'm calling tonight.
Okay. So I'll accept your not guilty plea. Um, you need to tell me now, do you want to keep the case here in this court, the municipal court, for a bench trial, or do you want a jury trial, which would be a
No, a
successful?
bench trial is good enough, I think.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll do that. I'm not sure when our next bench trial date is, so if you can have a seat right here, my clerk's going to give you some paperwork to reschedule that.
Okay, I should sit here.
Yes, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Jasmine Meyer.
Good morning, Ms. Myers. How are you? All right. So my understanding is that we were initially here for a bench trial here today on two charges. One was parking in a fire lane, and the second was traveling with a suspended license. My understanding is that you were wanting to withdraw that not guilty plea and enter a plea of no contest to both charges.
Yeah, I would take my driver's abstract in New York and confirm that it was suspended on that day, yes. I didn't know at the time, so I did confirm, so just coverage.
Okay. And just to confirm, you're not pleading guilty, you're pleading no contest.
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. All right. So when you came in, you were handed this plea sheet. Did you have a chance to read this?
Yes.
Do you have any questions on it? Is that your signature?
Yes.
So my understanding is you wish to enter a plea of no contest to both charges.
Yes.
Has anybody threatened you or promised you anything to enter that plea?
No.
You just freely and voluntarily entered into and will accept the no contest plea. On the parking in the fire lane,
approach.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing great. That's Douglas. Douglas to Douglas. How are you?
All right, so, Mr. Monroe, I think we're here on a bench trial.
Yes, sir.
It looks like you were issued a citation for a local ordinance violation, disorderly conduct, that'd be code section 22-49.
That is correct.
I don't have your paperwork in front of me, but it looks like you came to court back on May 22nd,
Yes, sir.
and you handed this plea sheet. Does this look familiar to you?
Yes, sir.
All right, so it looks like it was a plea of not guilty, and you pled not guilty, and that you were knowingly and willfully giving up your right to a jury trial.
That is correct.
And that you'd been informed of the dangers of proceeding without an attorney, and that you were willing to proceed without an attorney, and you understand you're waiving your right to an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have any questions about this?
No, sir.
All right. The court finds that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to a trial by jury and also his right to counsel. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Okay. I guess you're going to swear in your witness.
Y'all, please raise your right hands. You do swear or affirm testimony that you shall give, that you shall give, that you shall give, that you shall give, and that you may give will be the truth under penalty of perjury.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You can take your hands down. State your name, please.
Officer Andrew Henry,
And by whom are you employed?
City of Loganville Police Department,
In what capacity?
patrol officer.
And were you so employed on April the 7th of 2025?
Yes, sir.
Were you on duty that afternoon about 12:59?
I was.
And that day and at that time were you post certified?
Yes, sir.
Were you summoned out to a post office?
Yes, sir.
Where is this post office located?
City limits of Loganville, Gwinnett County, south.
And is that 4160 Logan Drive?
Yes, sir.
If you would tell the court what took you out there.
Yes, sir. So on again April 7th, about 12:15, I was dispatched to USPS on Logan Drive, referencing an irate customer that had supposedly thrown a package at employees. It was advised that later Mr. Douglas Monroe was a male that was there being irate and was in a black GMC truck. On arrival, that truck was gone, so I went and spoke in with Ms. Tricia, the postmaster, as well as Ms. Erica Pritchard and Ms. Cheryl Wimberly. There were two employees that had dealt with Mr. Monroe. Speaking with Ms. Wolf first, she stated that she heard a customer yell, "Fuck you." At that point, she had went up front and saw Mr. Douglas arguing with two customers, and had saw him push a box off the counter towards one of the employees. It was later determined that it was an issue with ground and priority shipping with the box, and that the USPS was not going to, accept the box due to, I guess, the shipping issue. After speaking with both Ms. Cheryl and Ms. Erica, again, they both advised that he was irate about the box, cussing, yelling "fuck you." I later spoke with an Indian female that was there with her two children, one a 17-year of age female and 8-year of age male. They also indicated that Mr. Monroe, or a subject in the store, was being, and she worded it as cursing nasty in front of her children. Miss Tricia had wrote down the tag for the truck, the black GMC, as well as the box, which displayed it to be issued to a Douglas Monroe, who did live at 2305 Huntington Drive, which is within the city. After getting witness statements from everyone involved, I had gone to Mr. Douglas's address. Upon arriving there, knocked at the door, and I could hear him on the phone with someone mentioning the post office and that, law enforcement was on scene, explaining what happened and what I was explaining to at the post office, and due to the testimony of the USPS employees, as well as the Indian mother, and with her children being present, I had issued him a citation for disorderly conduct due to him cussing and being disorderly, and also cussing in the presence of an 8-year-old.
That's all I have in this witness, Judge.
All right, Mr. Monroe, you're acting as your own attorney.
Yes, sir.
At this point in the proceeding, if you have any questions for the officer, you can ask him.
No, sir, I do not.
You do not. Next witness.
Please will call Tricia Wolf. Ms. Wolf, you've been sworn. State your name, please.
Tricia Ann Wolf.
And how are you employed?
I'm the postmaster of Loganville.
And were you so employed on April the 7th, 2025?
Yes, sir.
Were you working that day?
Yes, sir.
On that day, did you have occasion to come into contact with Mr. Douglas Monroe?
Yes, sir.
You see Mr. Monroe in court today?
Yes, sir.
Could you identify him for the record?
To my right, wearing a pink shirt.
And if you would tell the court what the substance of your contact was with him that day.
Okay, so on that day, I was in my office and I heard screaming from the front, loud voices. I couldn't make out the words. I just heard raised voices. So I came out of my office, and when I went up front, Mr. Monroe was standing in front of the retail clerk window and yelling at the clerk, Erica. He yelled, "Fuck you." There was more words explained. I told him that he needed to leave. The other clerks were shouting at him to leave. And when he walked by the counter, there was his package on the counter. And from where I was standing, he had pushed it, and it looked like it had hit my clerk. So then I told him he needed to leave immediately, and that's when I got on the phone with 911.
Oh, and were there other folks in the post office that morning?
Yes.
Just
Besides,
gentlemen in your clerk?
yes, we had customers in the lobby, and we had customers over towards in front of our passport area. They were waiting for their passport appointment.
Any questions?
No, sir.
No questions. Next witness.
Erica Pritchard. Pritchard, you just want to state your name, please.
Erica Pritchard,
By whom are you employed?
United States Postal
Were
Service.
you so employed on the date this was, April the 7th, 2025?
Yes, sir.
Did you have occasion to come into contact with Mr. Douglas Monroe that day?
Yes, I did.
If you would tell the court the substance of your contact with him.
When he came in, he was with my coworker, and he basically was trying to mail a package, and she informed him that he couldn't mail it the way he wanted to mail it. I think he wanted to mail it ground, but he had priority tape on it. So at that time, she told him that that was the incorrect packaging. He had to change it. He said he didn't want to change it. So he was yelling, and we were trying to get him to leave. He did leave, but then he came back in to take a picture. At that time is when I told him, he was saying that the picture was his proof that he left it with us. And I said, well, we're not going to mail it because we can't mail it that way. And then that's when he became irate and was just yelling, and we were trying to get him to leave. And
were there other folks in the post office?
yes.
Was he cursing?
Yes.
Can you tell the court what you heard him say?
He basically said, F you, because he asked me, I was asking him to leave, and he said, what are you going to do about it? And I was like, just leave. And then that's when he said, F you, and I did in turn tell him F him as well.
That's all I have, guys.
Any questions?
No questions.
Judge, I believe that's all the city will have.
No more witnesses? All right, Mr. Monroe, at this time, if you had any witnesses that you would like to present, you can present them.
Just myself.
Okay. All right. You understand that you are the defendant in this case, and so you have a right to remain silent and not give any testimony, and the court can't hold that against you in any way. And you understand that the city has to show beyond a reasonable doubt that,
Yes, sir.
and so the court would take no negative inference if you did not testify. Now, if you want to waive your right to remain silent and give your testimony, you can do so. That's what you indicated you wish to do.
Yes, sir.
All right. So you understand that you're giving up your right to remain silent in order to testify.
Yes, sir.
And you also understand that once you've testified, that the prosecutor can cross-examine you. He can ask you
Yes, sir.
questions. Okay. All right. Now, if you can raise your right hand, I think you've been sworn in, but I'm going to do it anyway. You understand that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead.
My name's Douglas Monroe, and I've been a citizen of Loganville for the past 22 years. I moved here at the age of 41. I'm now 63. Me and the post office has been a head-on collision since I've been here the past 22 years. I live at 2305 Huntington Drive in the subdivision of Huntington Ridge, just off of Georgia 20. I've been a resident here, like I said, for 22 years. Since I've been a resident, I have noticed a gradual decline in the service at the post office at the Loganville branch. First, it started with open mail. and it started coming back with resealed mail where they were open, look in the mail and retape it back. This is probably before any of these people were here. Then my mail started appearing in other people's mailboxes. This is,
There's an objection.
This is not relevant to the proceedings today.
it does, it lays a base of how we got to this train wreck.
I'll give a little leeway on that, but give a little backstory and then get into the
I'm picking it up.
All right.
It led to my mail showing up to other people's mailboxes. Then we created, in my community, which is called Huntington Ridge, we created a Facebook page so we can start notifying each other that, hey, I've got your mail, you've got my mail. It went on and gotten worse. The Loganville Post Office operates as if they are above the law and cannot be held accountable for their actions. As time went
Hold on
on,
1 second. There's an objection. What's the objection?
The defendant, again, this is not relevant to the proceedings. The defendant is
Let's.
making speculative remarks at this point.
The statement that you just made was more of a closing argument type. As of right now, just give
move
the
on.
testimony of what happened that day.
What happened is that I was not shipping my package. I was being a good Samaritan and returning to sender the very package that they left from a sports fans depot who had inaccurately mailed it to me. I looked into it, contacted the seller. He said they shipped it to me in error, and would I be so kind to return the package back to the post office? He then issued me a text QR code, and I did the right thing. I went on as a good Samaritan, stood in line with the package that the seller sent to me and put on my porch. So this is not my package. I was just returning it, trying to do the right thing. I had a QR code from the seller that he got from the post office, and I was supposed to show it, scan it, and give them back the package that was delivered by the post office. So right then and there, I felt like I in no way am responsible for repackaging somebody else's property, and that's where the friction started. I felt I had no obligation to open this man's package and repackage it out of my pocket. That's the friction, which escalated. And I kept explaining to her I was trying to bring someone else's property back the way it came. It was sat on my porch, and I just picked it up and brought it back. Suddenly, it can't be shipped. And that's where the friction came in. She scanned it, looked at it, told me she couldn't ship it, and I kept telling her I was just returning the sender. It got heated. One of the witnesses here came out, interrupted. Now I'm hot because it was an AB conversation. It became an ABC conversation. They got loud, I got loud. I was just trying to do the right thing and returning someone's package.
Anything else?
I am going to take the not guilty plea on behalf of my entire neighborhood. This is bigger than me in this box. This has just been going on for years, and it's a corrupt post office. I now go to Grayson or I go to Snellville just to avoid the deplorable service that I have experienced at the Loganville Police Office. And whether you find me guilty or not, I just want to be heard on behalf of myself and my community.
Any further testimony?
No, sir.
Any questions for this witness?
So, Mr. Monroe, you acknowledge that you went to the post office on this day,
Yes.
and you acknowledge that you had an altercation with a clerk.
Yes.
You acknowledge, do you not, that you began yelling?
I was provoked.
You began yelling.
I was provoked.
Did you begin yelling?
I was provoked, and I'll
You
keep
began
that
yelling,
statement.
Judge, if you
That's my answer.
my question.
That's my answer.
Well, that's his answer. I'll just take it as that.
And do you acknowledge that there were children in the post
I
office?
was not focused on who was in present. I was focused on the person in front of me that was declining the package. I did not look around, and it escalated.
And there were other people in the post office?
I was not focused on who was in the building. I was focused on the person in front of me.
So, yeah, so here's the thing. When you're asked a yes or no question, you can either respond yes or no, and then if you have any explanation, then you can give your explanation. So, when he asks you a yes or no, you say yes, but, or no, and
Nobody, no comment.
well,
Because I wasn't the only one heated in there.
Well, then, answer his question, then you can give your explanation, and the court will consider all the circumstances behind it. So, ask your question again.
You began yelling.
I don't remember.
You remember cursing.
No.
But, so,
It may be on video. I don't know.
well, do you remember saying, fuck you?
It's in a heated conversation. I don't remember saying anything when it's heated. I was standing my ground.
So you heard the testimony?
I was standing my
Did you hear
ground.
the testimony of the witness?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, that's all right.
All right. Any further testimony?
I just like to say that it felt like in my experience that it was a shakedown in order for the United States Post Office in Loganville to raise revenue, because I wasn't the only one being shaken down that day to repackage their items. I stood in a long line for almost 30 minutes watching people in front of me being told that they couldn't ship their packages and being forwarded to the material shelf to get new boxes, new tape in order to repackage their items. And I just knew it couldn't happen to me, because I was simply returning to sender. And it happened to me. I was watching people step out of line. I saw a lady that complained about her son's watch being taken out of a box and shipped without the package she shipped it in. And that was before they got to me. So they had an argument with customers before I even got there. And I'm saying to myself, I'm just returning to sender. This can't be happening to me. I'm trying to do the right thing and send someone's box back. So I wasn't the only one. I'm just standing up. I'm just standing up for what's right in Loganville. And I've been here for 21 years, and there's a whole lot. This train wreck was a coming. They stole mail, our Christmas letters that we give to each other in the community. One of their employees took our Christmas letters. It's a lot going on with this postal service. And I just want to be heard. Find me guilty or not, I just needed to get it out.
I've heard your testimony.
Thank you.
Any questions?
So you acknowledged, or you just testified that there were other people that were in
I
line
can't
in front of
remember.
you. You just testified. You don't remember what you just testified
All I
to?
did was focus on what was in front of me.
Okay. But you don't, do you remember telling the judge that there were other people in front of you that
There
were
was
doing
people
the
in front of me
same-
experiencing the same problem.
that were trying to, that were,
They had to
that
repackage
were,
their items.
that-
Yes.
That's right.
And they became upset, and there was arguments before I got there. There was a woman whose package was taken out and shipped without the packaging she originally put
Do
it
you
in.
remember talking to this police officer?
The one that came to my home?
Yes, sir.
I don't remember names, but 2 officers showed up.
Right. That one right there.
I can't remember. It was an older gentleman with
And
me.
did you admit to cursing to the employees because while you're in the prison?
I didn't hear your
Did
question.
you admit to the officer that you were cursing in the post office?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's all I had, Judge.
All right. Any other witnesses you want to call?
No, it's just me, sir.
All right. So, any rebuttal testimony? Okay. So the evidence portion of this case is closed, and so now we will go to the closing arguments. This
Yes,
is
sir.
where you take the facts of what happened in the law that's there and make a statement as to how you wish the court to rule. You have an opening? Okay. You can give your closing argument now.
My closing argument is that I want it to be heard. It's bigger than just this package. I was trying to be a good Samaritan. I've been a hero. I've found missing people. I've found missing children. I've done right in my life. I'm from New York City. I came from a poor background. I moved to Loganville to raise a family. And in the 21 years, I've lost my family. I've an empty nest, and I've continued to do right by God. And that's be a good Samaritan. I raised a family. I had a son who passed away in 2019, and his mom passed away 6 months later. I have an empty house. But I keep my hand and focus with the Lord. And when I feel like I'm being done wrong, I stand up. I stand up. And this is bigger than this box that I'm accusing this post office of being corrupt, and it needs to be investigated. I used to come in that post office 1 to 5 minutes, I'm out. Now 30, 40 minutes, lines all the way out. One representative at the counter. It's just that enough is enough.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Any questions?
Judge, the defendant, Judge, went into the post office, did not, and admittedly came and rolled in an argument with the postal workers there. There were other folks in the post office.
section 22-49. Basically, the testimony that we heard was that Mr. Monroe went into the post office on April the 7th of this year here in Loganville, and that the testimony that we heard from the employees of the post office was that Mr. Monroe was there, he had a package, he was told that that package was not proper to ship and that it needed to be in a separate, different box. The testimony from Ms. Tricia Wolf, who is the postmaster, said that she heard yelling and she came out and talked to Mr. Monroe and basically saw him cussing at employees, and that she saw him shove a package that either hit or nearly hit one of her clerks. Eric Pritchard, an employee with the post office, said that she was the one basically arguing with Mr. Monroe after he came in and started yelling at her. He said, "Fuck you," and that there was a commotion, and that she was there for that. Mr. Monroe's testimony was that he did come in to the post office. He was bringing a box that shouldn't have been shipped to him, and he was just doing a service as he saw it to bring it back to the post office. I was told that he had to change boxes and everything else, and was kind of given it wasn't his mind was a bureaucratic runaround that all he wanted to do was drop a box off, and so because of that he felt upset and started to yell. His testimony, the quote was, he got hot, and then he said he got loud, which is consistent with the testimony of the employees of the post office, that there was an incident that was loud and, in his words, hot. So the code section that we're here dealing with is 22-49, and it's a lengthy one, and it has 13 different types of actions that would constitute disorderly conduct. I think a couple at least are applicable. It says it shall be unlawful for any person within the corporate limits of the city to, one of them is commit an act which places another in reasonable apprehension of immediately receiving a violent injury. And then I think another one would be without provocation use obscene and vulgar profane language in a public gathering, school or school function, athletic or sporting event, public meeting, publicly owned property or operated building, or in the presence of a person under the age of 14. I think there was testimony that there were children in the post office at the time. Just based on what the law is in front of us and on the evidence that we have in front of us, is that even if you run into a bureaucratic snafu, which post offices all across the country happen, it happens. There, driver services, pretty much any government office, you're going to run into situations where they're not as efficient as you want them to be, or they have rules that just seem to not make sense.
Yes, sir.
But you can't act efficiently.
Try not to.
That the city has shown beyond a reasonable doubt that you violated at least those two prongs of the disorderly conduct statute, using profane language within the presence of children, and then also the shoving of the box. I don't know if it hit anybody for your own.
No, I just pushed it back, didn't touch, so took a picture and left.
So you can't have wild actions like that.
I really should have left, but I was standing my ground. I could not back down.
I understand. But
And it got
you
heated.
also understand that
It got.
there
I'm a
are laws
calm.
and
I'm a calm guy, but it escalates when I feel like I'm right. I'm doing the right thing, and I'm being told no, and that's what the problem is.
so the court does find beyond a reasonable doubt that the city did show that you are guilty by the evidence presented here today and the law that we have in front of us. So I will find that you are guilty. As far as sentencing goes, is there any recommendation from the
Yes,
city?
Judge, the city would recommend 6 months probation, a $1,000 fine, and a requirement that the defendant undergo an anger management program.
Mr. Monroe, any recommendations as far as sentencing goes?
I dispute the behavior sentencing because, like, I've been an outstanding person all my life. It's only human nature for someone to stand up when they feel like they've been wrong. I don't need any anger management whatsoever. I'm 63 years old, man. I'm trying to prepare for the day after. I don't have time to be getting mad at people anymore. It's when the wrong is wrong, you feel like you've been wrong. I just always believe with conviction all my life. You stand up when you feel like you've been wronged. And they escalated. I've been calm with you, and you can see the only way I can get escalated unless I'm escalated. I didn't see any children. I just tried to let them know I was trying to do the right thing. And now I'm paying $1,000 to do the right thing. I told you before, I go to Grace in Snellville now to avoid them because I believe they are incompetent and they need to be investigated. For 21 years, I'm just not making this up.
No, I understand, but that's a wholly separate issue.
I wanted, like I said, I didn't care if you find me guilty or not. I basically came in here to be heard so I can breathe again.
Well,
I've been through a lot with these people.
I heard. The sentence will be 6 months probation, $1,000 fine. The anger management, you can get with probation. They can suggest a place, or you can find one on your own. As soon as you complete that, they'll give you a letter or a certificate showing the completion of that.
Can I just pay the fine because I feel like I don't need any anger management, sir. I can pay the fine. I have to take care of people out of state. I have a senior mother that I'm on my way to take care of in North Carolina. So I'm commuting to take care of 83-year-old mama in North Carolina, back and forth, up and down, taking care of my only mother. And I just don't have the convenience of going to anger management, but I can pay the fine.
I understand that, but I think that it would be beneficial to you, and they'll work with you on your schedule. And I don't think it's going to be too much of an imposition based on the facts of the case to order that. So if you don't have any other questions, have a seat in the back. They'll be with you shortly. You're free to go out. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.